This is the central lobby of Parliament, and the man we're featuring today is a famous long-standing parliamentarian. He served in the Commons, then was forced against his will to the Lords, and is then back in the Commons until he retired. He didn't change the law himself, but the law was changed because of the things he did.
I think all big change occurs when public opinion shifts. And then in the end, the guys in Parliament realise that they have to concede.
Tony Benn has lived and breathed politics all his life. His father was an MP, and in 1941, for political reasons, he accepted a hereditary peerage. This act would not have affected his second son's political career until his first son was tragically killed in the war. From then on, Tony Benn, young Labour MP for Bristol South, knew that one day a problem would arise, since a peer could not sit in the Commons. For over a decade he fought tirelessly for the right to renounce his title, but events overtook him.
My dad was taken ill in Parliament, and I went with him to the hospital in a taxi, and he died, and I was with him when he died, and I knew at that moment a situation would develop, because I had tried endlessly to get it dealt with before, and so I rang up the Speaker, and the Speaker said, "You can't come anymore." And I said, "Well, I'm a member of Parliament, so I'm sorry, you're disqualified."
Losing passes and access to the Commons, and with a by-election called, the disqualified Benn took the unusual step of fighting it anyway, and won.
Well, I hoped I would win, and we had a very hard fight. And, you know, the Conservatives were saying it's no point in voting for him, he'll be disqualified, he is disqualified. And I wrote to Winston Churchill and asked for his support and said, "Now you're free, can you support me?" And he sent me a letter of support. I must be the only Labour candidate who circulated a letter of support from the former leader of the opposition.
But winning wasn't enough, as the newly elected MP discovered.
When I went to the door of the House as a new member, the doorkeeper said, "You can't come in." And I said, "Have you had instruction to use force to keep me out?" And he said, "Yes." So I wasn't interested in a rough-up, so I turned away, and the man I'd beaten took my seat.
For 2 years his opponent held the seat as Benn fought in the courts and at his own expense to change the law. But changes in the Tory party proved more important.
The government changed the law at the time, I think, because they wanted Alec Douglas-Home to be Prime Minister, and he was a peer. But the real argument was, did my constituency have the right to choose who they wanted to represent them?
That choice was finally recognised, as the new law allowed him to renounce the peerage and fight a by-election again and win again.
And they won't lock the door this time.
Whilst a significant constitutional change, the 1963 Peerages Act has affected few actual people, but to Tony Benn it has a wider value.
I don't believe in hereditary legislators. If I went to the dentist and as he started drilling my teeth, he said, "I'm not a dentist myself, but my father was a very good dentist," I think on the whole I would go to a new man to do my teeth.
Given your views on the subject, did anyone ever suggest in your career that you should move to the Lords?
When I left Parliament in 2001, a sort of hint was dropped to me. Was there anything I would like? And I think they might have been happy to make me a peer, but I wouldn't have been dead in the place.